As a church leader, your time and resources are limited. It's difficult to find discipleship and Bible study materials that are affordable, easily accessible, and high quality. But there is a way to equip the people in your church every day of the week without losing sleep. Welcome to Right Now Media, the world's largest library of video-driven Bible study resources, used by more than 20,000 churches, schools, and organizations. With a Right Now Media subscription, everyone in your church can access thousands of biblical resources for kids, couples, small groups, and more. Give your members access to great content, anytime, anywhere, on any device.
And God specifically says, the way you think, that's not the same way I think.
Equip and inspire everyone in your church beyond Sunday.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me in Solomon's Temple. My name is Solomon Nizangi. So good to be with you. I hope you're having a great day. It's cold out here in Johannesburg, South Africa. It's deep winter. So it's like really freezing cold. And have to be out this evening. My kids having soccer. And then one of them is having a choir festival at another school. So we have to stay warm. Hope you're well. Anyway, great to have you here, Bongani. Sending a shout out to all the Bereans. Good to have you, Andrew, watching from Waterkloof in Pretoria, and Fanta Sanko from Sierra Leone, I guess. From Gauteng here is Promise. Good to have you. Good to have you, Choni. Good to have all of you. Awesome to have you guys. Thank you so much for always joining me. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is Solomon's Temple. Make sure you go straight and subscribe right away. It is important that you subscribe just so we can get a lot of our content and our video out there. YouTube is going to make sure we get some sort of like good positioning on it. So great to have you here. So we all know Bishop Stephen Zondo. Those of you guys who know him, he's based here in Johannesburg, outside Johannesburg in South Africa. He has a big sort of like congregation, a very big ardent follower of TB Joshua. He was discipled by TB Joshua. He has taken a lot of South Africans down to TB Joshua's occultic altar when TB Joshua was still alive. And he calls himself His Excellency Archbishop. There are a lot of allegations financially against him, and there's a lot of allegations of him also forcing himself on women, married women, single women. And he's in court right now. They managed to get him into court. It took a long time. Ladies will report their cases to the police, and the case number and everything will disappear. The docket will disappear. But they managed to get him, through the help of the CRL Commission, managed to get him into court. So his trial just started 2 days ago. And there's one specific witness, the second witness, which is the first witness in this instance to testify. I know her very well. I've interviewed her on this platform. You can go check out the videos that I made on Stephen Zondo on this platform. I spoke to her and she spoke about what happened. So when I was reading this story, though her name was not mentioned, but I knew who they was talking about. And she was in camera. So that means her face was not shown. She was there. Her face was not shown. The journalists were not allowed to take her phone. She only testified between the accused, his attorneys, her attorneys, and the judge. Now, some of the things she has said, she had told me that in confidence. Right? So this is Stephen Zondo. So he dressed very radically and very, like he is all that. That's how he draws attention. And I'm glad to see him in court. This is him in court now, yesterday. So he started appearing in court already. This is a man who is well connected with politicians. You don't know, I'm talking about a very powerful man that he thinks he's untouchable. This is him in court again. But what he's been doing to women has just been very sad. Some of them young girls that he just claimed to try to disciple them. Now, this girl in particular, who is married now. I was one of the singers. He recruited her to say, no, you have a lovely voice. You can sing for the choir. And, he targets girls that came from homes that are broken. The father is not in the picture at all. So one day he called her and he met her up, picked her up, said, no, let's go. I want to take you to a place of prayer. And then he took her to a hotel. And then he asked her to undress. She was shocked. This is a young girl we're talking about. And people would say, why did she undress? Why did she go with him? Do you understand what happens to somebody when you trust somebody? You would never suspect that we're going to do anything to you. So everything is just so shocking. You must go and study how people operate. And you see, in the state of shock, you don't have any sort of reaction. And people end up not making the right decision. And that was how he forced himself on her. And he went to drop her back where he picked her from. And he said, if you tell anyone, one of your family members is going to die. Again, threat. And he offered her 75,000 for her silence. And that's what I want to hammer on, actually, more. There are a lot of girls, women, that today are quiet. They don't want to say anything about what they went through in the hands of a bishop, a prophet, a pastor, a charlatan. What these guys did to them sexually. They don't want to speak about it because they got paid. Or because they were just not okay. Now, that is the modus operandi of a lot of pastors now and bishops and prophets, just like politicians and celebrities. When there's any accusation that you sexually didn't do right to a woman, you try to silence them by giving them money. So you offer them money to buy their silence. And there's a lot of these pastors that are doing that, trust me. A lot of these prophets that are doing that, especially the ones that are charlatans and false prophets. That's all they know. Because they're going to do it again and again and again. They know if he goes to court, they're going to be in trouble. Because chances are they're going to. And you don't want that kind of attention and drama. I'm glad that she was bold enough. It was her aunt that noticed that she started drinking. And she was drinking heavily. And her aunt now asked her, hey, what is all this with drinking so heavily every day? The aunt didn't know that she was trying to process the pain of what this Bishop Zondo did to her in a hotel room. How he sexually forced himself on her. And the aunt was the first person she told. Remember, he had threatened her, if you tell anyone, one of your family members is going to die. And all that are lies. Bunch of lies after another. His trial is going to run until September. And I cannot wait to see him in prison. This is a good reason to go to prison. What he did to women. She's not the only woman who's going to testify. There are other women. By the way, this man disliked me so much when I've been investigating him for years. And I've put out stuff. I've exposed a whole lot of stuff that he's done. He came out and even tried to use certain vulgar language against my wife. Here's a video. I've showed this before. I'll show it again. On a program him and I was on TV, national TV here. He refused to face me face to face. Here.
They say you are a witch warlord. ubani oye kubo and ebazi ukuthi babathakathi.
Why do you think it's taking long for the police to charge him?
You know how many case numbers have been thrown away? Zondo is like a mafia.
It annoys me when you mention the name Solomon. I don't know him. Uyangithuka ngithuka ngabafazi babantu. Kodwa akakaze angibone ngikhumbula uBrooke phambi komfazi wakhe.
Zondo has left God. God has left him. I'm not even going to call him bishop because he's not worthy of a bishop.
So that's some little confrontation I had with the same Zondo who is in court now. And even those that are there defending him, the guys defending him that are as pastors, why haven't the police opened, pursue? Why haven't the police investigated him? Well, he's in court now. He was arrested, got bailed. We must be careful that we keep exposing all of this. Not just all of this, but when we hear a woman share her story, we must believe her first until we find a reason not to believe her. Why do we have to believe the prophet or the pastor? No, this pastor can never do this. No, this prophet can never do this. No, believe her until there is any other reason not to. It's as simple as that, isn't it? But Zondo, he's been saying he wants his day in court. He's gotten his day in court. But what he's been doing to women, he has a wife and children. What he even did to his sister. Do you know what he did to his sister when she was young? His niece. Zondo is a duplication of TB Joshua's evil. All they think about is themselves. They got nothing to do with the church. That's who Bishop Zondo is, so-called Bishop Zondo. But I just hope by the end of September, we'll hear the judge in the Pretoria High Court say, I hereby sentence you to 10 years, 14 years, 20 years in prison. That's what we want to hear. Because he deserves it. And he must go that way. And I pray that he goes that way. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.